Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Ross and Wizzy's Fan Fiction Power Hour. I am enjoying the nice air conditioning. Oh, it's so good. I love it.
You know what else you have the freedom to enjoy?
What's that, Wizzy?
Potatoes. You know who didn't have the freedom to enjoy those potatoes?
Oh.
The same Irish who you mock. That's right. He's anti-Irish, guys. I found out after his mockery of the great Rebecca Shoychett, the voice actress for Sunset Shimmer.
Okay, so here's the... Hi, by the way. My name is Ross Pitt. That's Wizzy Pup. So here's the thing. Rebecca Shoychett, or Shoychett, has a dumb last name. And I guess it's Irish, apparently. So thanks, Wizzy. You know who else is Irish?
I had to work so hard to work that into there.
I congratulate you. But you know who else is Irish?
Who's that?
Me.
Oh, no.
I actually think I'm more Scottish than Irish, and I'm barely Irish, so I'm barely
so
Scottish,
you're the enemy of the Irish.
I have both in me. I tussled with Nessie and... Do the Irish have folklore? Oh, that's right. We burned it all.
Are you kidding me?
No, I just said that to make the joke. Fuck me. Okay, so speaking of redheads, dearest Sunset Shimmer, my golden child, my golden redheaded child. Oh, I love her dearly. And today we're gonna read a fan fiction about her.
Woo!
Wizzy, what are we going to be reading?
We are going to be reading Sunset Shimmy, which is just a delightful name.
Absolutely. I love that name.
Do you think it's what Lemon Zest calls her when they're in bed?
Oh.
She's like, Shimmy.
Probably. Now that you mention it, and now that I'm remembering that one fan fiction we read, yeah, I do ship them. They haven't said a fucking word to each other, but...
They haven't? I thought that they were, like, mean girls together.
No.
Was she just the mean girl from, like, the another school?
Yeah.
Okay.
She goes to a... Sunset Shimmer at the time that Lemon Zest was introduced was not mean anymore.
Okay.
She's a good girl now.
Who is part of her mean girl squad?
And so forward marched Ross and Wizzy into a rousing bout of another pointless discussion about Equestria Girls' characters, and how they are not exactly what Wizzy thinks they are. Oh, it was a good bout, but perhaps a bit too long for the episode.
So anyways, who made this fanfiction?
Oh, it was me.
No.
On a whim.
No.
In an hour.
I'm actually asking.
Okay, it was the wonderful and talented Short Skirts and Explosions.
Great. We should get to reading.
Okay, let's get into Chapter 1. Morning. She's shimmying. Pinkie Pie smiled wide.
And so the rabbi said, "No, you have the chicken mouth."
All 5 girls giggled from where they stood on the front steps to Canterlot High.
Hey, guys.
Sunset Shimmer's voice rang in the morning air. Applejack glanced down, clutching a strap of her book bag.
Why, howdy, Sunset. How are you this...
She blinked, eyes crooked.
Morning?
Fluttershy leaned over, brushing aside her pink bangs.
Sunset?
Sorry I'm late. What's up?
A big smile was plastered across the teenager's face.
Wow, you guys are tall all of a sudden.
Her eyes narrowed.
Did you all buy new platforms? Not at all, darling.
Rarity gestured.
You're crawling on all fours. I am not.
Rainbow Dash nodded, face scrunched. Yeah, you are.
Girls, for real, if I was crawling on the floor, I think I would know. Then, would you mind telling us the time?
Applejack asked. Sunset Shimmer lifted one hand off the concrete courtyard so she could look at her watch.
It's about 8 minutes till homeroom, and
She froze in place, blinking at herself.
Huh.
Her knees squirmed against the bottom steps of the high school.
would you look at that? Is everything all right?
Rarity asked.
You seem rather, that is to say, your voice sounds hoarse.
No.
But I'm ching.
Sunset shrugged. I can't think of how many times I've actually had to say that sentence.
So I went to bed with a slight cough. No biggie. I took a lozenge.
Sonia.
I took a lasagna, and now things are. I took a lozenge, and now things are clearing back up in the old tubes.
Reeling backwards, Sunset wobbled slightly and at last stood upright.
I promise. I'll be ready to sing my heart out for band rehearsal this evening.
Okay,
Rainbow squinted.
if you say so.
Say!
Sunset grinned wide.
Is it true that Principal Celestia is fundraising for a new track and field program next week?
Yes? Fluttershy nodded. I think so.
Squeak!
Sunset's forearms reared in the air while she clomped her left foot against the ground. Clomped.
Clomp, clomp. I was about to mention the clomped, because I thought that was a really fun use of that word.
Yeah.
I've been looking for an excuse to stretch my legs. I bet if I gallop fast enough for the tryouts, they'll make me team captain.
Gallop, huh?
Rainbow cleared her throat.
Well, you'll have to be on the top of your game if you want to beat me.
Sunset gasped.
You're competing too? Yeah, no shit, Sunset.
Oh yeah, gonna be competing in...
What even?
I don't know, maybe this is a version of Rainbow that has only recently gotten into racing.
You bet.
Great. We'll be saddle buddies.
Sunset leaned in and rubbed her cheek against Rainbow's. Ooh.
I ship it. Sunset just pairs well with everybody.
Yeah.
See you in homeroom. I got a jet.
And she bolted up the steps in a red and yellow blur.
Yeah.
Rainbow wiped her cheek, sticking her tongue out. She would love that. I'm just saying. She glanced at the other girls.
Is it just me, or does Sunset seem a bit
euphoric?
Rarity suggested. Cuddly? Fluttershy stammered.
Missing a few apples up in her branches? Applejack.
Rarity frowned.
Well, 'tain't normal for a person to act that way.
Applejack frowned back. They just spelled the word taint.
Especially out in public.
And just how do we know what's normal for Sunset Shimmer?
Nothing's normal anymore.
Yeah. For Sunset, everything that she knew as normal changed. Fluttershy asked, All things considered, we barely know her at all. The other girls nodded and murmured in agreement.
Oh, yeah. Reckon she has a point. Quite alarming, actually.
Oh my gosh!
They all looked down. Pinkie Pie was squatting on all fours, staring up at them.
She's right. You girls do look tall.
The others exchanged nervous glances.
There's something about these Equestria girls fix that really just has Pinkie shut the fuck up for so long. I forgot she was in this scene. I forgot she even existed.
Does she have any, serious, arcs in Equestria Girls? She get,
The only person with an arc is pretty much... Actually,
Sunset and Twilight.
I guess Side-Twi kind of has one. Yeah, Sunset, Side-Twi, kind of Rainbow Dash in the second movie, but barely. Barely, so barely. Just little itty bitty.
Not even, Flash? He doesn't get an arc?
You think they gave enough of a shit about him to give him an arc? No. They noticed
Screw
how
them.
everybody hated my boy, and they threw him under the bus. They did Flash dirty. They did Flash worse than any other character. Flash deserves better. Twilight is fucking nothing compared to Flash.
Yeah. It was like, oh, he wants to go out with Twilight, but she doesn't want to go out with him. Like, what's up with that? Like, she owes him.
Actually, she does want to go out with him.
Oh, that doesn't work then.
Yeah. They were both into each other, but for some reason, everybody treated Flash like a freak. Like he's the weirdo. She's the one from a different universe.
She's the one who is an adult horse.
Just Flash has weird talent to pick up chicks with from different equine universes.
I'm confused. How did Twilight become such like a good student? I said that weird. In an Earth school?
She really didn't. I don't even think she took a class.
Oh, I thought that she was supposed to be like a straight A student.
She is at Equestria.
Yeah, but I thought in Canterlot High.
Yeah, no.
I thought that it was.
And so, once again, Wizzy proves that he does not understand a thing about Equestria girls, or he just makes up stuff as he goes along to peeve off Ross. You decide.
The others exchanged nervous glances. The first bell rang. Students milling about suddenly hurried to their homeroom classes.
Let's go.
Right.
We'll talk about this later at lunch.
Sure thing. That's canonically who is talking in that.
Yep, that is each character. Even though they didn't tell us which characters were talking, those were the characters.
Well, we're both just kind of geniuses. We know this thing.
We know the characters that well.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on like the word right, we knew it was Rarity.
Yep, exactly. Because she has an R in her name.
And then sure thing, because...
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Guys!
Pinky hissed and Crab walked up the steps. Wait, what the heck?
She has the shortest skirt out of all of them, fun fact.
Oh, she shouldn't be crab walking up the steps then.
I actually don't think that's true. I think they'll have...
If she's wearing a short skirt,
Past
she
the
shouldn't be
knees.
crab walking up
No,
the
wait.
steps.
No, it would be past most people's knees, but they have...
And so, yet another far too long discussion that somehow starts in Equestria Girl's skirts and goes to Sombra's death takes place. It was kind of interesting, but not that interesting, so I felt like I couldn't keep it all in.
Guys!
Pinky hissed and Crab walked up the steps.
Wait for me!
Fluttershy held the door open for her.
Thankies. By the way, nice flower print, Fluttershy. Very pretty.
Hey, speaking of...
Fluttershy blushed red as a beet. I'm very confused.
She saw her underwear.
You see, I'm actually very oblivious. I thought she was talking about like a shirt that she was wearing.
Oh my gosh, my sweet innocent boy.
Applejack yanked Pinky up by her wrist.
Will you just walk normal?
She stormed inside, growling.
Land snakes.
Do you say snakes?
Yep. Land sakes. There's a snake in my boot. That was chapter 1. We are going to continue to chapter 2.
Lunch. She's shimmying.
Hey, girls.
Sunset Shimmer smiled, waving a hand from where she sat in the cafeteria.
Come on down. I saved a seat for you. Much appreciated, darling.
Rarity and Fluttershy sat across the table from her. They placed their trays down, but suddenly blinked.
My.
Rarity stated.
I never knew you wore glasses. I know, right?
Sunset smirked as she adjusted the lenses over her turquoise eyes.
Truth be told, I can barely see a thing without them. Then how come you've never worn them before? Because this time, I was trying to keep up a cool and wicked image, you know? Because all this time, I was trying to keep up a cool and wicked image, you know? Man, just that one word. That one word changes everything about that sentence.
Sunset rolled her 4 eyes while gesturing with a dainty hand.
4 eyes. Fall formal princess. Flash has my magazine cover bow. Evil succubus extraordinaire. Blah, blah, blah.
So cool. She suddenly gasped, yanking her forearms up with dangling wrists.
Oh my god. They're serving carrots today?
Oh no.
Why, yes.
Rarity nodded with a smile.
They placed some out just as we arrived at the serving counter.
Fluttershy held up her tray.
Would you like some?
Squeak! Oh my god, that was piercing. Sunset lunged forward, headbutting the plate.
Eep!
Oh my god, that was piercing.
Thank you.
Like your eyes.
Ooh. Yeah, my eyes were actually pierced by arrows.
And then he took an arrow to the eyes and died.
Now I have to feel the fanfiction like Braille.
Oh, poor blind people can't enjoy the joy of fan fictions.
Hey, we're helping them.
Oh shit, we are. This is awesome. Hopefully blind people don't listen to this episode, though, because I don't think we're doing this story very much justice.
Yeah, we've gotten off the rails a couple times.
Yeah, but on rails. Chug chug for the entire rest of the episode.
Fluttershy flinched when she braved a glance. She saw Sunset leaning back with 4 orange tusks sticking out of her mouth. Jesus. Sunset munched and munched and munched.
I just got stabbed.
No! In your bedroom?
Yeah.
That's devastating.
I deserved it.
You were kidnapping someone.
Chugga chugga.
Slowly, the carrots receding into her mouth, spilling a few crumbs across the tabletop. Other students across the cafeteria craned their necks, curious as to the source of the pleasant, hungry moaning. Yeah, me too. Rarity winced, fanning herself as her shoulders hunched on either side. At last, Sunset gobbled up the last of the stalks. Her ears twitched as she swallowed the morsels down.
That is what that sound makes, huh? Yeah, wow.
That's about right.
BL.
Beelzebub.
Okay, so I've got a lot of people coming over at Thanksgiving. Imagine if I just made that noise for Thanksgiving dinner.
And you're just like, no, guys, it's spelled like BLBL. It's really funny. Like, to try it.
No, I meant the moaning, but yeah, that too.
I think if you did the moaning noise, people would probably think there was something wrong with the food.
I guess maybe. I thought it was delicious, though.
That's your delicious noises?
Yep.
Someday, my food will make those noises happen.
Aw, I hope so.
She blew out her lips and smiled.
Scrumptious.
Her lensed eyes blinked at the 2 girls' gawking expressions.
What?
She rubbed her cheek.
Is there something on my muzzle?
No, your... Fluttershy bit her lip. Muzzle is fine.
Oh, that's good.
Sunset tossed her hair back, nostrils flaring.
Because I haven't had a good brushing in months, and I'd hate to not look my best. You don't say.
Rarity chuckled nervously and smiled.
You know, darling, if you enjoy the carrots that much, there are plenty more over there at the food line. Oh, I couldn't. 3 in the afternoon is enough for me.
She stood up halfway and patted her skirt.
Don't want to make the flanks any rounder, if you know what I mean.
No. Fluttershy shuddered. We don't.
Well, you know how it is.
Sunset chuckled delicately as she rolled her eyes.
You eat too much, you can't clear a fence, even with a running start. You eat too infrequently and you risk twisting your insides with colic.
Oh my god.
Not like I've got anything to worry about. I haven't been sweating profusely each time I go to the bathroom. Oh my god. But enough about me. Tell me how your day's been going.
She leaned forward, planting her chin on her bent wrists.
Seen any handsome stallions lately?
No, Sunset. I can't say that we have.
Bummer. Well,
Sunset winked.
remember to be polite. Keep your tails down at all times, except for when they pass by. Then give it a little flick just to get their attention.
Oh my god. She leaned back with a smug smile.
Works every time.
Uh-huh. Rainbow Dash and Applejack strolled up.
Hey, guys, mind if we sit here? Apples.
And Sunset headbutted Applejack's tray.
Tarnation.
Well,
Chapter 3.
Okay, jeez.
Chapter 3. Afternoon. She's shimmying.
Wee, horsey ride. Faster, faster. Nay.
Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Rarity, and Pinkie Pie all sat at in their booth, slurping on sundaes and smoothies. Their eyes were collectively locked on the scene taking place on the opposite end of the bakery. Sunset Shimmer galloped around on all fours with twin toddlers riding her shoulders. A plump woman stood behind the front counter, pouring frosting onto cupcakes as she stared with a soft, motherly smile.
Whoa, we're coming round the bend.
Sunset frolicked around a table and reared up, thrashing her forearms in the air.
Whoa, rattlesnake on us.
The babies on her back giggled and cheered.
I haven't seen Pound and Pumpkin have this much fun in a long time,
said Mr. Cake as he wiped a tabletop clean towards the front end of the store. He turned and smiled at the scene.
Usually around this time of the day, we're struggling to keep them from turning the whole bakery into an opera house, on account of their crying.
Guess you just need to bring them to the stables every so often.
Panting for breath, Sunset adjusted her glasses and craned her neck back to smile at the toddlers.
Is that right? You like for a catchy trot?
She leaned in and rubbed her cheeks against them.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You want to do Mrs. Cake?
Yeah. You're a natural with them.
Mrs. Cake said.
Dearie, would you consider letting us pay you to babysit them every other weekend? Really? You mean it?
So long as you're up for the challenge,
Mr. Cake uttered, walking by.
Oh, absolutely.
Sunset Shimmer plopped back on her haunches and huddled the two.
I love foals. Step away from the child.
Oh, God.
Mrs.
Cake smiled awkwardly.
I imagine that extends to babies as well. Oh, definitely. Every colt and filly. Come here, you.
She held them close as they cooed in delight.
Squee.
From across the way, Rarity pointed with her wet straw.
There. That.
What?
Rainbow glanced over.
Did you hear that?
Pinkie licked sundae froth from her lips.
Hear what?
That sound. That sound she just made.
I heard it.
Fluttershy nodded.
Then again, I heard it the first few times she made it today.
You mean she's making freaky sounds now, too?
Rainbow remarked.
I just know I've heard it before.
Rarity said, slurping the remains of her smoothie in deep thought. Suddenly, she brightened.
I've got it.
She looked at the others.
Every time Princess Twilight has visited. I figured it was,
Applejack shrugged.
Some sort of equestrian thing. Like a dialect from that Canterlot castle that Twilight's always telling us about.
So they know about that stuff, but they don't know that they're horses?
No, they do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course, because...
A horse dialect.
Pinkie uttered hoarsely.
And her cheeks get all big and puffy, like this.
and she reached over, tugging at the corners of Fluttershy's face.
Squee!
Fluttershy wheezed forth before batting Pinky's hands away.
See?
Pinky proudly boasted.
You don't think that,
Rainbow scratched her forehead.
Sunset Shimmer is going backwards or something?
You mean like a relapse?
Rarity remarked.
A pony relapse?
Applejack droned.
Y'all can't be serious.
I don't think it's that hard to imagine.
Fluttershy said, still rubbing her cheeks.
Think about it. Sunset Shimmer's been happy ever since we defeated Adagio Damon.
Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you mean Adagio Dastardly Darling?
That wasn't her name!
Rainbow Dash grumbled.
It was...
She rubbed her chin.
What is it, Wizzy?
I know.
Pinky held both arms up.
The Onyx Eclipse.
Silence. She blinked.
Wait.
Adagio. We just said it, so I should know.
Mm-hmm, you should.
Damon.
Nope.
Adagio.
It does start with a D.
I know, I was going to say that.
Oh boy, we're going to be here for years.
Adagio Dance.
Nope.
Okay, let's find out. Oh wait, are they even going to say? I don't know if they're actually going to say. I don't think they're going to say.
You'll never find out.
Adagio da. Nope.
Close.
It won't come forth.
It's
Well.
Adagio Dad.
Oh, that's right, because she became a dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, great. Glad we solved that.
Good for her, by the way.
Anyways,
Fluttershy continued.
ever since the Battle of the Bands,
Sure.
Sunset Shimmer's been, well, happy.
Super duper happy.
Well, she did win our trust.
Back off,
once
man. Well, she did win our trust once and for all.
Rarity said, leaning back and crossing her legs.
Merm.
She suckled on the straw, eyes darting aside.
I suppose we did alienate her a bit for the first few months following the fall formal. A bit.
Applejack's eyes were straight, unlike her sexuality.
More like a mite. Well, the point is that we've since embraced her in open arms, and we all know it.
Rarity pointed with her straw.
And most especially, so does she.
So,
Rainbow gestured at the galloping teenager.
this is Sunset Shimmer when she's happy? I mean, really happy?
I guess so, darling.
So why is she acting all crazy?
Crazy to us, maybe.
Fluttershy's always been the smart one.
True. She's so open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Fluttershy said.
Huh?
Well, think about it.
Fluttershy glanced over.
She was born in Equestria.
She was born a pony, you mean?
Applejack said, with a name like Applejack, an obvious horse name. So who are you to criticize, huh?
It's human for their world.
That's fair.
They have a horse at the farm. They called their John Smith.
Did they?
No.
Aw, I really
I
wanted
can't remember
that to
the
be
name
true.
of Applejack's actual horse.
Oh, so she does get a horse, though.
She does have a horse, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know if they actually named the horse, but I think for some reason I recall a name for the horse.
I'm gonna name you Mystery.
That was weirdly good for some reason. Maybe I'm just going insane.
Okay, I thought it was weirdly good, too.
So either we're both going insane or that was weirdly good.
Where were we?
Going insane?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, that explains a few things.
Rarity said.
Though, if you ask me, it's no excuse to forsake proper etiquette.
Why? Whatever do you mean?
Fluttershy pouted at the elegant fashionista.
Is there a rule book that says she can't act as her own natural self while she's over here?
Go off, Fluttershy.
Seriously, who's she hurting? She's only, like, making those babies really happy.
Yeah. Until she hurts them.
Maybe she's hurting her own back, you know?
Yeah, that's true. She is human now, and she should think about these things.
Yeah. Gonna turn orange with all the carrots she's eaten.
More orange. Darling, for all intents and purposes, the sunshine shimmer... Fuck, I did it.
No.
For all intents and purposes, a sunset shimmer is here to stay. She owes a debt to the school for the damage that she did when she was a power-mongering... you know what. So it stands to reason that she should try to, well, blend in better.
Fluttershy folded her arms.
And ignore the unbridled joy that she's kept pent up within?
Go off, Fluttershy.
Rainbow shuddered.
Could we use the word bridal less when we're in the same room with Sunset? Suddenly, it's giving me the willies.
What? If she wanted to wear a bridle, she'd have every right to.
I concur. And she also has every right to prance around naked.
Well,
it's a horse thing.
That's true. It's her natural state.
I think we should all be ashamed of ourselves for judging Sunset so harshly.
Fluttershy tilted her nose up.
She's redeemed herself in more ways than one. She's entitled to a little fun and relaxation, no matter how silly.
Wee! Pinky's voice warbled against the walls.
Oh, that's a good word. Warbled.
Yeah. Fluttershy and the rest of her friends looked over. Sunset Shimmer giggled as she pranced across the room. Pinkie Pie straddled her back, whipping her jacket in the air like a lasso. The Cakes and their pouting toddlers watched silently from afar.
Yahoo, Shimmer! Away!
You seriously...
Hee hee hee!
Hold on. Text in here. It's yeehaw.
Oh. Dyslexia here. I saw that as the word yeah.
Why are we...
So...
we have a freaking podcast about reading with a dyslexic little...
I'm not even actually dyslexic. I can't claim that title.
Anyways, don't deprive me of hearing that voice say yeehaw.
All right, fine.
Yeehaw!
Thank you.
Hi-ho, Shimmer! Away! Hee-hee-hee!
Nay.
Fluttershy bit her lip. She brushed a strand of pink hair up and over her ear.
Maybe we should show her to the nearest playground instead.
I was thinking something more along the lines of a trip to the glue factory.
Hilarious.
Applejack!
Well, it wouldn't hurt to open her eyes some, you reckon?
Applejack gestured.
She's sure as heck opening ours.
Woohoo! Best horsey ride ever!
I realized if I wanted to do a nasally voice, I should just plug my nose.
Yeah, makes sense. Checks out.
Chapter 4. Evening. She's shimmying.
Morning, she's shimmying. Lunch, she's shimmying. Afternoon, she's shimmying. Evening, she's shimmying.
This is so funny because it go from lunch to afternoon, which is insane to me. Because that's when you're supposed to have lunch.
That's when I have breakfast.
Exactly. Guess when you have the frickin' high school schedule, though, you know.
Oh, yeah, totally. Tisk.
For the last time, Applejack.
We're not taking her to the glue factory.
Jesus. She really is attached to that idea.
I really think we should.
Rainbow Dash frowned as she walked towards the Apple family garage, carrying 2 guitar cases.
We're not a country band or an indie band.
She glared aside.
We're a rock band.
You could be.
Yeah, but you should be an indie band.
Yeah, true. Applejack grunted, lugging an amplifier in the late afternoon sunset.
How do y'all figure?
Look, it's so simple, even a bumpkin like you can figure it out.
You freaking classist piece of garbage. She smirked.
I would expect this kind of talk from Rarity, but from you?
Imagine that in the voice of Rarity would be so fitting.
Are we smoking, drinking, and losing our spouses?
I hope so.
Reckon we ain't.
Then we're not a country band.
That checks out. Then what about that indie nonsense?
Are you wearing a shirt?
Yep.
Am I wearing a shirt?
Yes.
You think the other gals are wearing shirts?
Well, of course they are. Oh my
Rainbow-
gosh, this would be a perfect time for Sunset Shimmer to come in naked.
That would be so good.
Rainbow smirked.
Well, there you have it.
She waved Applejack off as she stepped into the garage.
We're a rock band.
Applejack grumbled. Clearing her throat, Rainbow dropped the 2 guitar cases and struck a pose.
Never fear, awesomeness is here.
Shh. Fluttershy hissed. She and Pinkie Pie motioned for silence, then pointed across the room.
Gah.
Applejack placed the amplifier down beside Rainbow Dash. Both girls craned their necks to see. Atop the couch positioned along the edge of the garage, Rarity sat, but she wasn't alone. Sunset Shimmer lay across the full length of the sofa, asleep and on her back. She laid her head across Rarity's lap with a dumb smile plastered on her face.
Aww.
Her glasses lay crooked over twitching eyelids, and her arms were bent straight up. It is, as were her lower legs and feet. Applejack and Rainbow blinked before exchanging blank expressions. Rarity cleared her throat quietly. She held a finger up.
Observe.
She reached down and stroked Sunset's hair, then scratched along the inner nape of her neck. Sunset squirmed slightly. Her lips curved as she made a whinnying sound, and soon her legs and feet were making little hoofy kicks in the air of the garage.
Hoofy kicks. Is that really that common in this frickin' fandom?
I guess.
I remember that in at least 2 now. 2 different stories have used the word hoofy kicks in like a cute little way.
That's awesome.
Her body settled down with a slight twitch to her pelvis, as if shaking a tail that wasn't there. Fluttershy clutched her hands together while smiling warmly.
Girls, I do believe I have made an observation.
Rarity whispered, continuing to brush the teenager's red and yellow hair.
I think Sunset Shimmer might be adorable.
Abso-doodle-lootly.
Shh, Pinkie chirped. Blake, I am a vampire.
Bleh, blah, bleh. Halloween was last week, Wizzy. Or like 2 days ago.
Something like that.
You know what? Maybe 3 days ago. I don't know how long this take me to edit.
Possibly.
Unfortunately,
4
longer than I wanted.
years ago. Do you remember what it used to be like?
Nope.
Life before everything happened? Hi, I'm Wizzy from 4 years ago.
Rainbow's face twitched as she folded her arms.
If you say so.
Oh, Rainbow.
Fluttershy giggled lightly.
It's okay to admit that you find Sunset to be adora-cute.
Adora-cute.
Adorabat.
So, what you're saying is,
Rainbow raised an eyebrow.
if I pranced around like an idiot on all fours and started eating fruit without using my hands, made silly horse noises, then I would be adorable?
Oh, Wizzy, you're gonna let this next line. Don't be ridiculous.
Applejack winked.
You're already adorable.
So good. So realistic.
Ugh! I am not taking this from a bassist.
Sunset nuzzled Rarity's palm as her left ear twitched, followed by her right. Rainbow blinked.
How the fuck does she do that?
Although,
She rubbed her chin, squinting at Sunset's face.
with the way the light glints off her glasses while she lies there.
Give in. Pinkie leaned over, eyes swirling. Give in to the cuteness.
Can we just do our rehearsals already?
What's the rush, darling?
Rarity smiled.
We're all here. After more than one crisis, we're all in one piece. That's more. What's more, we're all happy.
Most of all, Sunset Shimmer.
Exists.
Yeah, just in general.
So good.
Fluttershy cooed, kneeling down to stroke the girl's cheek.
Think about it. For so long, she struggled to get by the evil way. But now that she's found friendship, she's returned to her equestrian roots. It's like arriving home after being terribly lost for so long.
Reckon I can't fault her for that.
Applejack said. She smiled.
And, all things considered, she's mostly harmless nowadays.
Oh, please. She could still kill all of you.
But she won't, so she's harmless.
That's the best kind of Sunset Shimmer,
Pinky said.
Darn tootin'.
As long as she doesn't start making horse noises when she steps up to the mic.
Horse core.
Rainbow said, squatting beside Fluttershy.
Of course not, Rainbow. She knows better than that.
She smiled and leaned in, nuzzling the teenager.
But for now, it's nice to know that she's forever our little pony.
Ah!
Whoa!
Was that a show name reference?
I think so.
The rest of the girls nodded and giggled lightly. Silence.
So, tomorrow,
Pinky grinned.
can I come to school as an alligator?
No.
So quirky.
They all barked.
Oh, I see they're barking now. They don't want her being a horse, but they're okay with being dogs. Okay.
Pinky hung her head.
The end.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely. That was Sunset Shimmy by Short Skirts and Explosions. I really didn't know what I was going to get out of this.
So many S's in that.
And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the great slice of life fics that we've read.
Yeah, I think it was just it was really cute, which I wasn't expecting.
Although, the fact that they didn't let Pinky become an alligator, that was kind of a downside.
Yeah, Pinky deserves to be an alligator. And Fluttershy deserves to be a tree. That's a reference to the show.
Aw, I wish I knew. Does she get reincarnated as a tree? Because that would be so good, so her.
Yeah, she dies in a terrible accident and then gets reincarnated as a tree.
That is so her.
Yep, cute as fuck. What did you think, Wizzy?
I thought that the story was perfect in every way. No.
It is now Wizzy's favorite, not just fanfiction, but thing ever.
My favorite concept?
Yeah.
No, but the story was just like perfectly cute. It was just very light. It felt like a real episode of the show, like a lot of these fics seem to. Where when you're watching it, it just sort of takes you out of your mind, sort of.
Yeah, a real episode of the show. Nice flower print, Fluttershy. Real episode of the show.
Okay, well, yeah, I could see that happening in Equestria Girls. Not My Little Pony, but Equestria Girls.
All right, sure. I love the idea of Sunset Shimmer just going back to her roots as a fucking horse.
Like, where did all of her horse instincts go?
Yeah, I think that's just a really funny concept that I think it should have played with more. Like, Equestria Girls 1 kind of did it with Twilight-ish. It was a fish out of water story after all, but they didn't play with it enough, as she basically got the gist of everyday human life.
If they mentioned the bathrooms, that would be so funny.
Well, Twilight does, like, slam her head into an apple. Which coincidentally, I think also happened in this story.
Slam her head into an apple?
She just, like, leaned down and took a bite out of an apple.
Oh, okay.
She didn't pick it up.
Oh my
She's
God.
a horse, you see. She doesn't know how to use her hands.
See, we need more things like that.
Mm-hmm. Loved it. That's all I have to say, I think.
Oh, book recommendation.
I mean, that was really only for, I guess,
Hunger
you could
Games.
recommend books.
Mockingjay Part 2? Yeah.
Wizzy.
Yeah.
The book was just The Hunger Games Mockingjay. The book wasn't split up into 2 parts. That was just the movie. I'm pretty sure.
Well, the book actually did have 3 parts, but it was all contained within one book.
Uh-huh. So it's just a book.
So the second part in the book is what I'm talking about.
Oh,
That's
please.
the
It's
best
like
part.
saying that my copy of Lord of the Rings is actually 6 books.
No, I said it was all one book with 3 parts, because that's what it says. Part 1, Part 2, and then Part 3.
Then why not just recommend the entire book? Why say specifically part 2?
Because Part 2 was the best part.
I doubt you've even read it.
I did. That's like the one book I've read.
Wow.
Please.
Read more books.
I read plenty on the internet. I just don't like physical books.
Me neither. That's why I got Audible.
Speaking of... Bye. It's my
Yeah, it's a fucking abrupt ending if I... Raka.
Ha.
Habapata.
Habapakapata.
You find
love
that
that.
funny because of the dog meme. I find that funny because of the pony meme.
There's a pony meme with it?
Oh my god, I have to show you. Oh my god, it's so good.
You do have to.
Okay. Now then, silence everybody, silence.